Good Saturday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic 24 hours a day. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And we do provide superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region, premium meteorology for the northern mid-Atlantic and national regions as well. I know this says afternoon video forecast discussion, but this is the complete video forecast discussion for today on Saturday, the 16th of May, 2020, halfway through the month. Okay, we're going to start out with the precipitation totals here across New York here, the Hudson River Valley area, Connecticut, northern New England. Had that cold front come through overnight last night, and it produced anywhere from a half of an inch to almost an inch of rain in spots here across New York State into southern New England. Lesser amounts here across Pennsylvania, especially around northeastern Pennsylvania. Northern New Jersey had a quarter of an inch or less, and then everything just fell apart. As you got through northern New Jersey and central New Jersey, very little rainfall came in during the last 24 hours. Air temperatures this morning are running still in the 50s now across the northwestern zones here into Pennsylvania. Northeastern Pennsylvania, everybody else is still in the 60s, primarily in northern New Jersey, and mid and upper 60s. Even some 70s already showing up in central and southern New Jersey, and the heat will be on again for today, but the atmosphere will be a little bit drier. There's a couple outliers here, but dew points are generally in the low to mid-50s right now, and that is pretty steamy still. We got some drying here across New York State here after the cold front and thunderstorms came through. Let's see if we can get to the relative humidity values this morning. Relative humidity values are going to show up right now on our weather and hazards data viewer here from the National Weather Service. Maybe. Here they go. Relative humidities are still high, but they're coming down now from where they were earlier in the 90% bracket. Now they're coming down into the 60s and 50s as drier air begins to work into the area. They're still quite high here in southern New England, especially New York State, but everybody else is it's humid now because temperatures are generally running. Humidity levels are coming up back again as the air mass is still pretty saturated here across central and southern New Jersey. 24-hour temperature change here with the rain and clouds that came in a couple of degrees below where they were yesterday at this point in time at 9:19 in the morning, or 9:18 in the morning. And they've risen a few degrees here in central and southern New Jersey and across the Delmarva and across portions of Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island here. Interesting start on the visible red satellite imagery this morning. We still have a stream from west to east here with our old cold frontal boundary as the sun is rising over the satellite here, and some cold air advection coming in with the cumulus clouds, the alto cumulus clouds here to the north across the Hudson River Valley, New York, into Pennsylvania. So you've got one stream on the higher levels here, which is the higher cloud tops here. These were the thunderstorms or showers that passed through southern New Jersey overnight, and stream of clouds still coming in. So let's stop this right now and get to the latest imagery here if we can. So this is where the precipitation is still lingering or just getting out of here. We've got cold air cumulus clouds building in from the northwest and a stream of cloud cover still in the upper levels of the atmosphere. If we went into the lower levels of the water vapor channel, we're still finding that stream of water vapor here across most of the region in the lower layers of the atmosphere. Drier air filling in now across northern New England into New York State. Eventually this is going to press south, and this is going to move further south, and some dry air still now across central and southern New Jersey. The latest composite radar is going to come up right now, and the latest composite radar shows virtually nothing is happening here. These are return echoes here. This is precipitation out here over the ocean, and this is also radar echo data. National radar composites here from all the radars. Here's the area of low pressure, and that is now off the New Jersey coast. Lots of dry sinking air occurring here. This is a radar. This is very interesting. A bow echoing line here through Texas, upper level low here. It looks like even in the radar data here with bow echoes, and there was a lot of thunderstorm warnings in this area here. We'll get into that in a moment. Here's that disturbance off the Florida coast right now that we're thinking is still subtropical at this point, and we'll get to that in a moment. Wanted to do the low-level water vapor for the entire country here. If we can do that. It's going to pull up. Let's go. Well, this is truly a sight to see here in the water vapor low-level channel. We've got a new storm system coming into the west coast here in Washington and Oregon. Lots of applied precipitation moisture coming in here. This is a bow echoing line of showers and thunderstorms across East Texas into the Gulf Coast states. And look at all this upper level divergence and diffluence. This is outflow boundary. And look, all the cloud cover still streaming in along this nearly stationary front here in the water vapor channel across the area from the Ohio River Valley here all the way into the Midwest and all the way off the East Coast. This is a brief area of drying here, so we're going to have some mixed sunshine today as this begins to sink south, but then now again we're looking at, look at all these clusters of showers and thunderstorms over the Bahamas and off the coast of Florida here. This is what is either a tropical disturbance. It looks very disorganized here in the water vapor channel, but you know, we're going to be monitoring this because this, and this is going to feed into our forecast going into the next several days of next week, and that doesn't look too good in terms of sunshine. No, not to me, it doesn't. Morning surface chart from weatherroanoke.com, digital atmosphere software. Here's high pressure gradually building in across the Great Lakes into the northeast. Here's our storm system from yesterday pulling off, so we're in between these two. Here comes the cold front now through central and southern New Jersey at this moment. And also this disturbance here off the Florida coast and the Bahamas here. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Here's a big upper level low and surface low pressure system over the southeast in portions of Mexico and especially in Texas here. And we've got like lots of showers and thunderstorms in this area, and diffluent flow across the upper Midwest attached to this front, and also the outflow boundaries from this storm system here. And we got a new storm system and cold front just getting ready to come ashore here on the northwestern coast of the western United States. It's still breezy out there this morning. We have winds about 15-20 miles an hour in spots here as that new area of drying comes into the region this morning, and we can see this with the dew points lowering here in northwestern New Jersey, but they're still quite moderate here in central and southern New Jersey as the cold front and dry air makes its way in from the mid and upper levels. The actual wind speeds here are out of the north to northwest at this point, and again, let's take a look at the visible one more time here. Up close, a streaming of high clouds here, which we discussed. Cold air cumulus clouds underneath it. This is lower level. These clouds are upper level, and these clouds are going to get out of here eventually. Using the RAP model mesoscale analysis this morning, here comes the new precipitation on the west coast here of Washington and Oregon. Here's our upper level divergence, diffluence here from this area of low pressure and this long bow echoing line here with showers and thunderstorms. We'll get into the iWeatherNet browser in just a moment. Convective outlook for today, it looks marginal in the Midwest. Of course, the south Arklatex area into Texas, marginal area. National fire, not really happening today. No areas of national fire weather outlooks. And of course, this mesoscale discussion is for portions of thunderstorm watch box 186. Severe threat continues for many more hours over southern Oklahoma into northern Texas. Large hail and wind damage will be the main threats here, as you can see. And the latest surface analysis of a 1001 millibar low in northwestern Texas with back to easterly surface winds across much of northern Texas and Oklahoma. So, you know, we've got temperatures in the lower 70s here. This is contributing to strong instability, with the RAP estimating multiple Cape values of 3,500 joules per kilogram. So that's not good. 3,500 joules per kilogram. This is tornado area here. WeatherNet severe storm weather browser this morning. Here's a line of showers and thunderstorms here. Let's take a look at the wind directions here. The wind directions are wrapping around this thing like it's a upper level low, which it currently is, so we'll take that off. And the other things, storm reports. We've got plenty of them, and most of them are wind damage reports too. And we have some flooding here in Hidalgo County in southeastern Texas here. And, well, we've got lots of lightning strikes around this area too. These are live lightning strikes wrapping around across Louisiana, down into the Gulfport regions, and then wrapping right into just south of Corpus Christi and southeastern Texas at this moment, and even to portions of Mexico. Yeah, it's true. Here you go. For my good friends in Mexico and that are living here, well, you got temperatures already in some parts in the higher mountains here near Durango at 54 degrees this morning, but other temperatures are in the 70s to 80s, and these temperatures are going to continue to climb this morning. 39 degrees here in northwestern near, I don't know where all these areas are in Mexico. I do know that the areas here, if I can pull this up, see if I can pull this up here around the coast here. Tampico, 82 degrees. So right along the areas here, which is Cancun. Well, I know Cancun is over here. Where's Cancun? Cancun's at 84 right now, so that looks good. And that's early this morning. And for Manny and family this morning, it's 55 in Guadalajara, Mexico. We'll do temperatures today for the New Jersey, New York City I-95 corridor, still in the lower 80s around Washington, D.C., mid and upper 70s everywhere else, and that's above normal. Temperatures tomorrow, upper 60s to low 70s across the region. Monday, lower 60s to around 70. Then it gets chilly again on Tuesday. Mixed signals going forward. I have a lot of things to say about this pattern going forward. 50s north, 60s south. That is well below normal. On Wednesday again, below normal, upper 60s, low and mid 60s across the region actually. And on Thursday, warming back up, upper 60s to around 72. That's normal. And day 7 on Friday, back into the upper 60s and upper 70s in the I-95 corridor. And notice how everything is once again cool across the southern areas of Connecticut, Long Island Sound, and the coastal waters here as well. High temperature anomalies today about 3, 4, 5 degrees above normal. Tomorrow they're back down to near normal to below normal, especially around the coast, southern Long Island, northeastern coastal waters of New Jersey down to Delaware. It's going to be below normal tomorrow by a few degrees. And those degrees continue to drop off below normal, 7, 5, 4 degrees below normal across the area on Monday. Tuesday, we are really chilly, like 15 degrees, 13 degrees below normal. You got it, folks. Wednesday, below normal, 8, 11 degrees below normal across the region. And then we go slightly warmer again, but we're still below normal on Thursday, and we're below normal across southern New England and the coastal waters here of New Jersey, Long Island, actually, New York City. And then we're getting slightly above normal by a few degrees, depending on where the frontal boundary lies once again for next Friday. Latest HRR model guidance on the infrared simulated brightness colors here. We still have some of those cloud tops here across Cleveland into northeastern Pennsylvania. They're going to drift into northwestern New Jersey. Most of these will be high cloud cover and then dispersal of the cloud cover through central and southern New Jersey. But here comes that warm front right back again. And as we get into later this afternoon and evening, actually on Sunday morning, high clouds are going to spill over the top here, and then the cloud decks just get lowering and thickening, and that is the forecast for Sunday. Again, Sunday looks good too for the most of the area until we get to Sunday night and Monday, and that's where everything begins to change. And if we went back, this cycle isn't finished yet. And if we went back to Sunday here, again, that's not going to finish, so let's get to 6C here. 6C, if we can get through that to the end here. Let's see if we can get to that. Yeah. If we get to Sunday in the afternoon, that's where cloud cover is going to increase as another low moves into the upper Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River Valley, and Cloud cover will begin to increase on Sunday night and Monday again, with more rain on the way for next week. And I want to tell you that the things that I'm looking at in the European model guidance for next week does not look good. I want to use the latest NAM model guidance from 12Z, which is coming in, and it has not finished yet. So we're going to have to go to the 6Z data, which has, here comes those streamers, but breaks in the cloud cover today and tomorrow too. And then the clouds really start filling in on Sunday night and early Monday. And then they break again for a little while until Monday afternoon. In the morning and in the afternoon, the clouds begin to fill in once again. And look, by the end of this loop here is that disturbance. I'm going to stop this now. Here is that disturbance that was a tropical depression or whatever. We're going to get into that in a moment. Look at all the high cloud tops here and the cooling of the cloud tops here as the storm and cold front move in through the Great Lakes and the Midwest here, or Milwaukee down through Detroit, Chicago, and Cleveland. This is one feature, this is another feature, and get used to this because we've got issues coming up for next week. Okay, back to the National Hurricane Center. As of 8 o'clock this morning on May 16th, an area of low pressure located just offshore of southeastern coast of Florida continues to produce shower activity and gusty winds for portions of southeast and east central Florida with the onshore flow there, and the northwestern Bahamas and adjacent coastal water. Satellite images and surface observations indicate that the low is gradually becoming better defined, but the associated showers and thunderstorms remain disorganized, and I showed you that on the water vapor channel. Gradual development is still expected, and the system likely to become a tropical or subtropical depression or storm later today or tonight when it moves north-northeast over the Atlantic waters east of Florida. Regardless of the development, this disturbance will continue to bring heavy rain and gusty winds across portions of east central Florida, the northwestern Bahamas through today. Hazardous marine conditions will spread northward during the next few days, likely causing dangerous surf and rip currents along and much of the southeast and mid-Atlantic coast of the U.S. That's not good. Formation chances during the next 48 hours are high at about 80%, and through the next 5 days at 80%. The next advisory at 3 o'clock this afternoon. National European High Resolution overview here. Precipitation here comes our tropical or tropical low here off the east coast, and that's going to feed in a southeast to east wind, so rip current risk is going to be coming high this week. Into dispersal with sunshine, clouds, and precipitation at various points here. Here comes our upper level low now, developing also over the Ohio River Valley in the southeast. That swings everything out into the ocean with the tropical disturbance. However, the upper level low is not going to be so forgiving, and then there's high pressure blocking over across northern New England. So you've got a northeast wind, a southeast wind, an east wind in general. Not pretty. Not a lot of precipitation here. But I will say this, I've looked at a couple of things here that just don't look good to me. And I've done this on various modeling this morning as I've looked at a lot of things. There's a lot of precipitation coming in the next several days towards the southern mid-Atlantic and the southern mid-Atlantic region. But then I went into beyond this period into 10 days and, well, not looking good. Lots of precipitation over southern Florida, lots across the Ohio River Valley area with a closed low here, and then the tropical moisture here feeding in on an east wind. Not so good. Okay, significant wave heights here across the east coast as the subtropical or, tropical natured storm system here. Look, we're going to have rip currents around here. Coming up this week. If this continues to be a pattern that's favorable here for the New Jersey, New York metropolitan area and the Northeast as well, right along the coastal waters up to 90 hours here. Not good. No, not really. Not for beachgoers, it's not. No. Another, this coronavirus pandemic here, you want to go to the beach this week coming up? I don't know about that. Saw this early this morning for the 10-day out period on the European model guidance for like 8-9 inches of rain along the coast here in New Jersey and over eastern Pennsylvania, southeastern, southwestern New Jersey. That was yesterday morning. Let's take a look at the latest from the 10-day out forecast here. It's still wet. There's no question about it. If we can get into it. But it's a lot different now than it was showing, because now it's noticing that the tropical wave here out over the Atlantic is going to be shunted to the east, so it's auto-correcting itself in a large way. But still, the idea of heavy precipitation cannot be ruled out across eastern Pennsylvania and the Delmarva region as well, and this is going to likely change. Ensemble data from the European model guidance over the next 15 days, it's still quite wet. 2.5, maybe 3 inches of rain here. Yeah, that's possible. EPS is like all the model guidances combined together. If we did the GFS, let's see if we can pull this up. GFS out to the next 10 days. And this was done when? Last night? Yes, last night. It's showing this, which was yesterday's early morning European model guidance run of inches of rain here. I don't know. Something is wrong in this data. I think a middle-of-the-road approach needs to be met. I don't know about you, but I have a social sinus COVID-19 headache, and a pollen dispersal is just out of this world at this point. So that's the end of this video forecast discussion. We'll be back later this afternoon. For everything, it's GordonStateWeather.com, GordonStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. Have a great weekend, folks. We'll be back later. Or not.